I just want to say hello and thank you very much. My name's John Wright, and I was just outside picking up limbs and stuff that blew out outside. I see my friend Ernie Tobeck out checking his mail. I love Ernie. Ernie's my brother-in-law. Ernie was also the best man at my wedding, and I got married in my brother Jerry's house in Rochester, Washington. And I'm just gonna, go through things, and the most comfortable thing to do is just tell the truth. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on the spot. And America wouldn't have been in the condition and the shape it is today, and it'd sure be in a lot worse shape if Donald Trump had his way, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm looking at it from a victim standpoint and who has caused what. And I'm like Spider-Man. I'm all over the internet, and I look for information, and I try to find out the facts instead of fiction, friction, and bullshit. And that's what Mr. Trump is apparently a master at. And I'm a master of a lot of things, and one seeing through someone's goddamn bullshit, and I've been saying it all my life. Now, saying that, I was just talking about that blue Dodge Polara, Terry Shortridge, got murdered on my bed in that house in Morton, Washington, on Division Street. Right there where Jerry's got that blue Dodge Polara that's been placed in the dump 5 miles outside of Morton at the end of Highway 12, and I think it's Temple Drive possibly, or Davis Lake Road. But it comes out to a point, I think they call it Temple, something over there. Probably something Zodiac, by the way. And that looks like it's one of the finest right there in a white vehicle today. So, when they come by periodically, I notice and check, and the neighbors are nice and quiet now. And it's so nice that we could quiet them down without burning down their houses and running them off. Because I'll tell you what, being an American, if you fuck with me and do stuff to me, when somebody finally has to retaliate, what do you think they might do? They've been burning down our houses. They've been murdering my friends. Do I think vigilante, should happen? Well, hell, that is the American way. That is a fabric of society. Now, you take the Ku Klux Klan. What are those guys doing? Well, I think that they're probably fighting for rights. I think that there's a lot of people that fights for rights, but there is actually, even no matter what race you're in, what religion you're in, what ethic, eth, ethical standings that you come up with, you still need to follow the rules of the law in the United States of America. I mean, that is something that I have always done, and that's the only thing that's kept me out of trouble. And I'm just sitting here going like this and saying, smiling, saying, hey, my family, I've been right here all along, waiting for you to come forward and tell me what your problem is, because you guys goddamn know what you've done to me. I mean, as a team, because Jerry Wright's been leaning on Jim Wright. Jerry Wright's been leaning on Bonnie. And maybe they got Bonnie into of a higher cause or something. I don't know, because there's a lot of cult issues in the Trump administration, and those same issues stem right down to my Republican family, Malin Park, Kent, that Jerry Wright is a Republican renegade, red tomato. George Bush owes me. George Bush owes him to pay off his bills. George Bush owes him to pay off that truck that gets poor gas mileage, and gas prices are so goddamn high, during this administration of the Bushes. Here I'm going through the things that I'm going through, and, Jerry Wright's saying constant negative things about the United States of America. Like, what does this guy have to do with all of this? And he's pushing my button, and if you push my button about America, you'll find out how American I am and how un-American you are when I point it out to you that your shit stinks just as bad as mine, is what those guys would like me to think. Because, you know, they would use something against me that's, well, you use marijuana. Yeah, I treat post-traumatic stress disorder with a little bit of pot instead of jumping into a bottle of whiskey and end up going out and getting in a whole bunch of trouble. Isn't that nice? When you're on hard drugs in America, like crystal meth and all those other drugs, heroin, etc., speed, whatever, you're going to need something to step off of, step back from, and you're going to want to probably use marijuana, as you're going to have some kind of advice, one of the two. You shouldn't punish yourself in order to get well. There is treatment for all Americans if they would only understand there's nothing embarrassing about coming and getting treatment. But once you get your hand caught in the pickle barrel, Mr. Bruce Kinsey and Jerry L. Wright and Donald Burgess of Lewis County, just to mention a few, Herbert C. Kreitzer, my employer at the Chehalis Bowling Center, that was saying stuff like, your dad is my first competitor, and he's telling me he's the outlaw, and they've got bowling machines in his bowling alley that came through the D.B. Cooper stunt money. That's right. And all these people have to live up to what they've done. And when they live up to what they've done, they're going down, and I'm going straight fucking up with America. And that's the way that I feel it, because you know what? I had people coming in that bowling alley that was supporting me, telling me, hey man, it's your family. Hey man. I said, can you tell me what's going on, please? Because I'd really like to goddamn know what's going on with these people. I can't tell you. Marietta says the same thing. People are calling me up and they say things, John, and I can't tell you who's leaning on my sister Bonnie. Jerry, Marietta and Jerry seems to have me at odds. Marietta and them, they want me to live at that house so they can keep an eye on me to make sure I don't act out. Maybe they can spy on me. You know, they were spying on me. They were finding out what my business affairs was on the 3rd floor. Matter of fact, I'm such a nice guy. I employed my ex-wife, Karina Renata Cruzan. You know, she's a German. She's half German. Her dad's American, Gary Cruzan from Chehalis, Washington. You know what? He takes care of handicapped people. That's his profession, is dealing with handicapped people. My father-in-law, as long as he's been in the business of taking care of people such as he did, and his mother was a deaf woman. You know, she could make noises and stuff. The kids would make fun of me and that woman had a relationship. She ended up living in the old folks home next to my house over there, where Ralph Box moved, the guy that owned the house next door to my mother, that wanted me to rent his house because he trusted me. I'd just come over and slip the money in his pocket. So he'd have some cash in the old folks home because he had a lifetime stay on that house. And he had it cut up in so many different ways, he couldn't really sell it to me either. He did that because he was fox. He was smart like a fox, old Ralph Box was. And, you know, he was an atheist. He didn't believe in God. You know? Why? Because I could goddamn see why now. Not that I don't believe in God, but everybody will use God as a trick to come in and get an entry into your home, man. Oh yeah, I'm a nice person. I'm a Christian. And they're not Christian. They're not Christian at all. They're there seeing what they can get dirt on you from. You know, if so. I don't go into people's houses. You know, I'll go into a bowling alley where I'm surrounded by people that I know. I might go to the grocery store, but the only person that I go to their house and go in their house is people that I trust, that I buy marijuana from. you know. And my family, they're like, then they can't get pot. They'll come to me and get pot. Why? Well, for one, I usually have a half a pound sitting right there. I can have like 8 or 10 or so many ounces of it. I'm always under my limit, but you can gosh damn tell that I'm pushing the limit all the fucking time. Because why? Well, I get it 50 to $100 an ounce when everybody else is paying 160 to 320. So wake up. You know, I wasn't doing a bad thing. I'd have people that was nice to me because I was nice to people. People come over to my house, you know, and I'd smoke pot open in front of them. I'm not hiding nothing. Not a goddamn thing. If I've got a pile of weed, it's all in the same bag. It's all in the same bucket. It's all in the same cooler. And I mean a cooler full of weed. Not a little bag full of weed. If I put a little something in a bag, it's because that's my carry where I'm carrying. I'm smoking with my friends during the day. You know, to be honest with you, and my family, they goddamn couldn't live with it that I was free, could run around and hey man, I'm here. I'm over here. How are you guys doing? Jesus Christ, everybody's fucking happy to see John Wright. You know, when he does come by, fuck, why are they got high pro glow all the time, and they fucking know that me just being around them puts my family in the fucking hole. They gotta play ostrich. It's like Jim Wright telling me, someday, John, you're gonna find out what it's like to have to stick your head in the sand, you know, hide your face. He told me how he had to eat out of a garbage can. Well, Jim, I've done goddamn lot worse than that, buddy. You guys put me to the fucking test, and I'll tell you what, you know that thing that's Alone, where these people go out in the wilderness, and they fucking do that? I beat them. I watched that show as, you know, oh, I've tried this, and I've done that, and I've done that, you know? I mean, literally, I may have my camper, I've been on the run, I've been fucking dodging bullets left and right from these cops and stuff. I used to say, it's something. Here I am running a bowling alley, and I gotta walk this fine line between the pigs on one side and the criminals on the other side, and me and the people are in the center, and we're like, hey, I could protect you when you're in the bowling alley here with me, but I can't protect you when you walk outside that goddamn door. Those fucking pigs are out there waiting for you, so just don't. You know, be careful. Like I said, if they come in here, I'll escort them out the door, and these people witness it. 13 minutes flat, I'm out of here. My name's John Wright. Maybe that's why my dad was successful too, because the people loved my dad. They loved my dad. The funeral parlor where my dad had the funeral at the church, uptown Morton, where George Curry presumed over it. Boy, I'll tell you what, you should have seen old George Curry. George, he was my best friend, my best friend, my best friend, going on and on and on. Hey, I said the Lord's Prayer. I spoke. I got everybody to go, gasp for air and stuff like that. And you know what? I didn't even know that there was going to be that many people in that building when I turned around. Thank you for your time this morning. You have a great day. My name's John Wright, and I am here working for America each and every day because you know why? My dad was a Zodiac killer. My dad was D.B. Cooper, and he was forced to do the job, and it was the Republican rats that did it.